everyone, and thank you for joining me for today's episode of the Soul Call with Kelly B. I'm your host, Kelly Butchart. I'm a soul purpose coach and ascension guide. And before I introduce you to today's guest, let me share with you that there is still time to jump into the most incredible collaboration with myself and two of my beautiful soul star sisters. The New Earth Mystery School launches on the 28th of September. We begin our calls at 7 p.m. UK time. The link is down below, so please check it out. And we would love to welcome you on this 12-month journey of the soul to help you to connect with your inner innate cosmic wisdom and to help you navigate your own soul's journey as we go forward into this unknown territory of this new, what some are calling the golden age. But it's certainly going to be a new world, and we get the opportunity to co-create it with love. Now, today's conversation is somebody who also walks this path of creating beautiful experiences and healings for many, many, many others through her teachings and through her own soul mastery, her own wisdom. She's so generous with her sharings, and I know that you are going to love Mia Kafkios as much as I do. Mia is a remarkable soul with an extraordinary gift of perceiving auras and unlocking the hidden potential in every individual. Her upbringing, shaped by Greek and Swedish influences, was marred by dysfunction, but it propelled her on a path of self-discovery and service. Mia's life journey, spanning various roles from dance and yoga teacher to psychology student, school teacher, certified personal trainer, and life coach, has been dedicated to helping others find their life's purpose. She has evolved into a guiding light for healers, channelers, coaches, and energy therapists, fostering a global soul tribe through workshops and retreats. Her mission, unwavering and transformative, is to activate the true essence and potential of souls. Mia believes in integrating psychology with spirituality and emphasizes the power of living in the present moment, healing the past, and shaping the future. In this podcast episode, join myself and Mia as we both explore the depths of the human experience and the limitless possibilities within us. Mia also treats us to a little bonus at the end, which I know that you are just going to love. So thank you once again for tuning in. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share the love. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Soul Call with Kelly B. I'm your host, Kelly Butchart. I'm a soul purpose coach and ascension guide. And today I'm joined with the incredible soul that is known in this earthly incarnation as Mia Kafkios. Mia, welcome to the Soul Call.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I would love, Mia, if you could please introduce yourself, share with us a little bit about what you do and maybe where you are. I know that you travel a lot, but where you're based in the world.
Yeah. So I've been an energy therapist for over 25 years and worked in the spiritual field and also in the psychological field for many, many, many years. My mission that my guides and my family of light really want me to do here and to be is to be an awakening activator. So I'm assisting souls to remember, to wake up and to remember who they truly are beyond time and space. I'm located in Sweden most of the time, but as I'm a worldwide speaker, I'm everywhere over the world.
Oh, you're such a busy, busy lady. And so I was saying to you before we press record. I'm so grateful that you're taking some of your precious time to connect with me and my listeners and viewers today. It's just wonderful to have you here, Mia. Now, I've followed your work for a few years and we've connected through Facebook and things, probably during the lockdown period. And I have to thank you first and foremost because connecting with you online has really helped to sustain me and keep my vibration high and to stay in that frequency of love. But also, what has really intrigued me, I lived a very, when I say a 3D life, I had a fairly regular job, lived a fairly regular life. Underground, I worked as an energy healer and intuitive guide. And that was very much kind of hidden. It was a growing interest over 20 years. And really, there has been this huge acceleration in my own soul growth over the last couple of years. And so, when you're ready and you ask the universe and you ask God, the teachers come along. And that was when you came into my life in a big way. So, I just want to say thank you so much to you for for us finding each other because you really have awakened me in so many ways. So I just want to say thank you for that, Mia. We haven't met to give each other real hugs in real time
Yeah.
yet, but I'll set that intention for that to happen at some point.
Yes, maybe in Glastonbury in May.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. What really interests me and what I love to talk about here on the podcast is living, learning, and leading with soul. And with my background in education, working with children for over 20 years, being a mother myself, as I know that you are, our children are just incredible. These children that are coming through into these incarnations now. And often asking children about what they think about the world, their natural curiosity and wonder. And you very much still have that purity with you. You still look at the world with wonderment and natural curiosity, which is just so pure and it's so amazing to see and to retain that. I wonder if you could take yourself back to where this all really started for you when you became consciously aware of your place in this world and there being so much more than this sort of 3D reality of you, if you like. Where did all of that start to really awaken for you?
Yeah, it goes in so many levels, so it's so hard to say that it's a specific moment, but I recall from very, very young age that I had an incredible amount of life force energy that didn't see in anyone else. I was waking up every morning and feeling so excited about life. And just to know, like a side thing is that I was seeing my mother being beaten by my father every single day from 5 years old till 12 years old. So I was really living in huge trauma, a traumatic, like human life. And but still, I was like, I remember so much the excitement about every day and of course the purity, this innocence which we all have within us. When you come down as the star seed, you have the innocence. We all have it, but we are also naive because we don't understand the human pain and the human wounds. So naivety is something we need to heal, but still have that innocence still in us. But I mean, I've always felt that my mission is to awaken people into their passion or the passion of life and the passion of being alive. Of course, I took it as a responsibility when I was a child, and the whole family was in huge trauma. Yeah, and even when I got older and got my own family, so I was using that gift of mine from a wounded place or from a survival place, which was, of course, divinely orchestrated. But then as the healing journey started of my human self, I started to understand that wherever I go, if I go into a room, something happens, and when you heal and the ego, because the ego maybe think, who am I to be this light, right? So the more we heal, we don't need to be better or less than anyone else. We just are who we are, and then we start to remember. We start to remember on a soul level that we all are the same, that we have a unique vibration. As that came through, I started also to take, both responsibility, but also just allowing myself to be that. So I think my guides always keep saying to me when I was like, "Oh my God, should I go live? Like, stop saying to me that I should go live. How can you can't even speak English?" And they were like, "You need to go out because you have soul sisters and soul brothers that will remember you when they see you. It's beyond the words, as you say. You are like a soul sister. We have many incarnations together. I recognized you immediately when we come to the screen. So I'm here to assist in that remembrance. And yeah, a long answer, but that's
That's
me.
such a beautiful answer. And I love how you've touched on, you know, so much of the spiritual community can be caught up in the love and light. And we need to talk about the trauma. We need to talk about the healing the trauma, more importantly. And you've woven that in so beautifully into your answer, because many children that I've experienced through my career in education are here to heal the karmic trauma for their families. They've signed up for the gig, as I say, and they're experiencing, so many are experiencing very difficult and challenging lives because they're calling it all in to step further into their soul mastery, to heal it for the ancestral lines. And so I just want to honour you again, and I just want to thank all these starseeds that have come into this earthly dimension, because boy, it's a difficult time. It's been a very, very difficult time, but a very, very important time. And what an
Mm,
incredibly important role that you're playing on this earthly mission, Mia, to reactivate souls like myself and many, many others globally, because it is an awakening, it's a remembering, isn't it? We've been
mm,
slumbering around because we've had our DNA reduced down to two
mm,
strands, or so we were told. And we're
mm.
coming back to bring more and more and more of our multidimensional selves online, aren't we? So I so love that you recognise me as a soul sister, because I've been a little bit late to the table with all of this. I've been slumbering around for quite some time. And so I've gone, in my
Mm.
conscious awareness over the last couple of years, it's been so activating and so amazing. Some of it's been quite frightening. And I know that, in your YouTube channels and through your teachings, you talk about the dark nights of the soul that so many of us are experiencing over and over and over again. But they are opportunities to rebirth and to step more deeply in. When I first connected with you online, Mia, I recognised the liar in yourself. I really resonated with that so, so strongly. And I'll share very briefly, back in 2012, I had already trained in some healing modalities by that point. But in 2012, I went to train as an angelic Reiki practitioner at that time. And it was so activating. It was just another step in the journey for me. And I had this most incredible experience. I was in a temple and I was looking up straight to the cosmos. It was like I was the cosmos. There was no beginning or end. And when I looked up, there were these lyran beings standing around me. And I didn't have a name for them at this time. They just looked like these incredible beings like you and I, but white lion beings. And the love that I felt from these beings was just unbelievable. And I got down and I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And they came down and they said, no, no, we're here to honor you. It was one of the most emotional
Wow.
experiences I've ever had. And they gave me a gift as well. It was just like, I had no idea what was going on. And when I spoke to my angelic Reiki teacher, She said to me, "Have you heard of the Christ consciousness returning to the planet?" Now, this was 2012, and I didn't know anything about this. I'd heard of Christ consciousness, but it didn't mean anything to me at that point. And she said, "The return of the white lions has been prophesied for many years." So I went away and I started to read and started to learn about the white lions of Timbavati, and they had made a great returning. And so what I was being shown was very much a cosmic level
Mm.
of the Christ consciousness returning. And so that for me was, it wasn't a dark night of the soul, but it was certainly there was a part of me that was like leaving and
Mm.
surrendering and stepping deeper into trust that that experience was so real and so beautiful. So when I saw you online a couple of years ago, I thought, I recognize you. I would love for you to talk about some of your multidimensional aspects, just whatever you're willing to share and what you've learned about your multidimensional self, Mia.
So for those listening, this is also, as you say, the dark night of the soul. It keeps going as we remember more and more, and we expand our consciousness. And as we expand, as we strengthen our light body, we can expand our consciousness level, which means we can access more and more dimensions. That's how it works. So, many times we're like, okay, this chakra healing thing, what's that all about? Okay, I understand, I mean better, but it's so much bigger. So, I mean, for many years, you're also like a healer. So we start with working with the chakras and we start to understand, okay, this is really affecting me in my here and now on the earthly levels. But then as we like clear our light body through the chakras and other ways, we can really start to access the full soul of ours, because we have one soul aspect here, but then we have 143 more, which many of them are existing in other dimensions. And of course, also each of these 144, we also have simultaneous timelines, past, future, and parallel realities. So there's thousands and thousands of existences that you can tap into. And the dark night of the soul, because I think it goes together with that. It has to do with like, the more we let go and dare to complete and allow parts of our ego personality, the human self, to die, the more we can open up our consciousness and understand the multidimensional being that we are. This Mia Kafkios, that is 48 years old, that has 3 children, had a huge amount of traumas in this incarnation, all of that. It's not who I am. And it's so weird because my nervous system is reacting out of those traumas still. But um, this is the glitch which we're trying to kind of, adjust right now. But I'm remembering more and more of who I am. So this multidimensional being, like for me, have more lifetimes in Arcturus, in Andromeda, in Lyra than I have on Earth. I only have like 82 lifetimes on Earth, but I love Earth. I love Earth. I love planet Earth. So I keep coming back here because I love the emotions here. We don't have emotions. We don't have ecstatic, orgasmic, experiences as we have here. So I tend to keep coming back here to assist Earth, because I think it's such an amazing school and it's an amazing place to come as a soul sooner or later and experience, this incarnation. But there's so much to talk about on the multidimensional level. But since you also started to talk about the children, this is something that is shifting in my mission now, because I'm an educated teacher, as you are, as science and physical education. But I could just do half a year as a teacher, because I mean, that energy, I couldn't stand it. I don't understand how people can be in that energy with so many fractured souls. Thank God to all teachers that manage. But now, the cosmic and galactic families of the star children right now, they asked me to be a channel because they want to have a contact with the star children that are here. Let's say everyone from 1 year old to like 16 years old that has parents that are awakened. They want to channel through me codes that is beyond the human language, which is light language and other different codes. So they much faster can remember and move out of the amnesia. Yeah.
That. I
It's so
love
hard to
that.
answer your questions on a human
No,
level. I
I
go
love
like
it. I
this.
know, I know, and this is where I need to pull myself back, but I go out because it is always an inner expansion, is it? We go like this because what's happening in the microcosm is happening in the macrocosm, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love how you have connections with Arcturus as well, because that's been a recent experience of mine as well.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's something I'm starting to explore a little bit further because I know that, I mean, I don't think any galactic beings would say that they're more advanced than others. I don't know, but they certainly seem very advanced. It's very advanced technologies. But I am also very, very deeply connected to Andromeda. And I've done so much work with our galaxy and Andromeda with other beautiful beings that I work with as well. It's just been such an incredible 2.5 years, especially since I've had more conscious awareness of it. So I am sure we will have met in many other lifetimes on many other different galaxies and planets. So I'm just absolutely loving this. So you've touched on what your divine mission is, Mia, and obviously it sounded like it's evolving. You know, it's been evolving as you evolve, as we all evolve, as we go through life. And you describe yourself as an awakening activator and what you're here to bring and activate the codes that are in our children. And you do some beautiful collaborations as well. I know that you do, your own offerings, but you also work with incredible beings like Tim Wilde, who I've had on my podcast recently as well. And he's just another beautiful soul that I'm just so grateful to have reconnected with in this lifetime as well. You're still a teacher, aren't you? You're still teaching, but just in a different way. And, I was latterly a head teacher, a school principal, and I now describe myself as a heart teacher because it is all about bringing these teachings through the most important and ancient Stargate portal that we have, which is through the heart. And so I would love for you to talk about what this next part of your divine mission is. What are you being called? You've mentioned your guides there. And I don't know if your feelings are the same here, but I used to think about my guides as being, and sometimes they can be other beings, but I truly feel now they are higher stations of identity of myself. I feel that many of the guys that I'm now connecting with are me. It's just
Mm.
different, there's multidimensional aspects of me. So if you could share with us what is this next part of your divine mission, because some of it involves collaborations with others and what you're being guided to do and who your guides are.
Yeah, I don't know everything because
None of us do.
it's a lot because things are changing so fast. But for the first of all, like since I was 5 years old, I always been saying I'm gonna be a teacher. I'm gonna be a teacher. Like I've always knew I was gonna be a teacher, and it's like it's within me something. As soon as I get a click, I mean, it's in my human design. It's all the ports, all the gates. Every single star was exactly aligned so I could have these gifts because it was designed from God and from my higher self. So it has really nothing to do really with my soul. It was just has to do with the mission. But as soon as I get advanced things, when I understand them, I really immediately just need to get out there and assist because I feel for me personally, there's a lot that is too advanced. It doesn't need to be advanced, and it's advanced enough to try to wake up. So we need to make it easy. But it is 3.5 years ago that I was guided to do Therapist of the New World, which has been a huge education that I've been taking people through that I've loved. But last year, they told me, this is your last course, and now it's ending. And it took me, morning to night, all day long for 1 year to create that, and people just completely love it. And they're like, are you just going to leave with the whole education? I'm like, yes, that's like the guidance, and I don't know what's going to come. And you've heard me saying that the whole summer. I was like, I don't know what's going to come, what's going to come. But now what I'm doing is I'm having a facilitator training, which is in person. It's 3 days for those that already are working in the field somehow. And it's what I understand is that I'm bringing in the mystery schools from, especially the higher priestess in Egypt, but also the mystery schools from the galactic and cosmic levels. And it will be so amazing. I know the souls that have booked, it's fully booked now, the first training in end of October. It's going to be like a full activation of their gifts through time and space, and they will be operating energetically on a level that has not been available here on Earth yet. So that's something I'm very excited about because I'm also going to come. I haven't opened the training yet, but I'm coming to Glastonbury and having that training in the beginning of June also. So that's the calling, first of all, that there will be a few souls that really going to be super, super assisted through my vessel to be activated into this. Then I'm being called to do a lot of planetary work. That's why I'm being sent to different places. And apparently, my vessel has been trained to hold a huge amount of energy. So, and I'm a crazy person that just like goes. And I don't even, so many times I've been so close to almost burn out my complete body and kind of actually leave my vessel and die. But I'm so determined, so I'm taking these crazy things, and it's just now I'm gonna assist Diana Cooper because she asked me and she didn't know anything about me, but then she got the information that I'm gonna assist and anchoring the Lyra energy for the 22nd of October, where the monadic, it's an opportunity for us to merge with our monadic, which feels super huge, and I feel that I've been prepared my whole life for that mission. So I don't know how to answer you. I'm being called to different places on earth. Now I'm going to the Angelic Congress to do energy work with 1,000 people in a room, which I'm extremely excited about because you know how I work. I'm not a leader. I don't see myself as a teacher in that way. It's more like, you are as important as each and every one there. We are connecting the dots, and people, thank God, that comes to my work are so, so, so committed. So it gets like, oh, such energy. It's just amazing. So I follow guidance. I don't know. They say that my mission will change massively. They say, my guides, that a completely new team of Family of Light will come through that is on a higher vibration. So they're gonna change my guide system. And they say they're gonna come and take me um, on a journey, and they're gonna show me things that have not been on this planet yet. I haven't told
Amazing.
this loud out, just the closest ones knows that. So
Amazing.
yeah, so
Oh, thank you for sharing that. And do you know, there are so many parallels. I've recently been told something very similar, that I am starting to embody my monadic soul. And
mm,
that is feeling like, I actually feel like my whole body's expanding as well over the last few weeks. I'm like, what is going on? So it's having a physical impact on me as well. And you briefly touched on, you've been close to burnout. And this is what we have to be really, really careful about, isn't it? Because these high, high frequencies of information, it's like we're having to really calibrate our physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental bodies in order to integrate and process. It's so, so much, isn't it? But so, so worth it as well.
yeah, and I'm experiencing also that many are grid workers without knowing they're grid workers. Many, many, many are doing planetary work without knowing this. So kind of the closest ones that have been my students that have been with me every week for 7 months, they have started to understand this, that they're being called to go to different places. And that comes actually almost to every single person when we are being asked to travel, even if it's vacation. There's huge amount of activation happening. Usually we clear, usually we activate, usually we retrieve, and that's why it can be kind of intense sometimes to go to different places.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mm,
Especially when you're doing the level of work that you're doing, Mia. And like you say, I hadn't even heard of grid workers. I had no idea what that was a couple of years ago until I started to listen to people like yourself and Tim, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. And now that I know what I know and I've experienced what I've experienced this last couple of years, I'm like, oh my goodness, when I think back, I didn't have a
mm.
conscious awareness, but I would be called to places and I didn't know why I was being called to places. I would sit in the energy and I would connect with the energy, but now I'm doing all of that much more consciously, much, much more consciously. And also astrally as well, a lot of the work that I do, because I can't afford to go to all the places that I would want to be there physically. So I've really learned with the guidance of some other beautiful souls how to visit places in the astral and how to do work that's etheric, but just as powerful. So
Yes.
thank you for awakening all of that journey within me as well. It's been so amazing. I know what you're saying because every question is multi-layered and every answer could be multi-layered. You could answer it in lots of different ways.
Yes.
Lots of different ways.
Absolutely.
And you touched on as well some of the very there are some very complex ways to try. I mean, some things I have no words for because it can only be experienced through the heart. But when we try and intellectualize a lot of these complex teachings, like the Kalontic sciences that some people may have heard of, like Ashayana Dean's stuff and Lisa Renee's stuff. I'm an avid follower of Lisa Renee. I think she's an incredible scribe for her time. And she has most definitely come back from the future to assist as well. And some of it can be so complex. And being a programmed teacher for a long time, I've had to try and just experience it through the heart and not to over intellectualize some of these very complex teachings. And so, this is what I love about your work as well, because you keep it very simple. And in my gene keys, I have simplicity through a
Mm,
lot of my gene keys. That's what I'm coded to do. And that's probably why I was called to be a primary school teacher to keep things simple for the children.
mm.
So I love how you teach these very complex things. You bring it down to a level that, people like me who are just starting out consciously on this awakening journey can begin to grasp and understand some very complex things. But we can bring it down to this earthly level of understanding and take it from there. So
Yeah.
I just love how you do that. I love how you
And
do
still,
that.
many think that what we are doing is very advanced also. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Tim says many times, he's like, you don't understand how advanced you are. I don't think people are ready for you. But in comparison to Lisa, because Lisa, I see her as one of my teachers because I'm in her membership and the Golden Ray, and I'm really the only, actually kind of the only one I receive information from that is human. I don't like in a human body. Otherwise, I don't receive information personally from anyone else. Of course, I can listen to and I can of course be around people that supervise, but like really taking in it's so she's as you say a very I would never like to have her mission. Thank God for Lisa that has that mission. Oh my God. I'm thinking
Yeah.
always like, ooh. But as you say, we also it's I mean, it's so beautiful that she created that advanced system. And I know like when my beloved he's also in the ascension in the energetic synthesis with Lisa when he reads things he goes into details and he learns you know every single thing and it's so funny because I he asks me sometimes about the details and I'm like I don't know and he's like but you're teaching it and I'm like yeah I just know what I need to know and then I'm go out and he was like okay you have a completely different design so we are all designed differently and we have these different mixtures and different vibrations and that's usually why people that likes a lot of details they would probably not follow me but very emotional that likes to understand emotions and feelings and stuff like that they usually follow me, because I feel also like to understand the higher picture, the macro is very important, since so incredible beings are working to assist us. But so I really want to understand the advancement on the cosmic galactic level. I mean, like when these incredible ascended masters unite after eons of separation from the darkness, and they get to merge into divine union, which happened last year, 2022. I then understand why I was ready to meet my divine union and my twin flame. So it's just making so much sense that then it comes down to the earthly, which is, about the everyday conversation we might have with our children, or the conflicts we have with our parents or whatever. But on the macro level, there's huge things happening, which I personally feel is very inspiring, because sometimes it can be like this lower dense stories and like blah blah blah, when can I move and when can I do this, when is the children big enough, and like, oh, and then you like seeing the bigger picture, and then at least I get super excited, and then I'm like, okay, we are on the
Yeah.
track.
There are so many complex things that we try and understand, because in order to know where we're going, we need to know kind of where we've been as well. And there's been lots of galactic wars. We're currently in a huge spiritual war, and for some people won't really know that. But it's a war on our consciousness, it's a war on our creatress energy, it's a war on really retaining the purity of our souls, isn't it? And it's so important that you've touched on there, that you found your beloved and your twin flame, but the inner work is so important first, to release all of this trauma, core wounding that's held within us. It's finding that balance of that hierogamic union within, and balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the holy cosmic mother, the holy cosmic father, and bringing the holy cosmic child home. And once we do that work, then we're ready for our beloveds to
Yeah.
come in. Yeah.
And the sacred marriage needs to start with God first, which again, I didn't understand. I remember that, I don't know if you were on that webinar, the January 2022, the ending of December and the January, and I started to cry because we were asked to make a conscious choice to always follow guidance. I don't know if you remember. It was in January 2022, 11th of January. And I just cried because I understood the commitment I had made towards God on a completely new level, which means surrendering, trying to fix relationships and controlling and everything, just completely surrendering. And the day after, everything had changed within me. I just woke up and knew I needed to move out of my partner, move from Spain, and it just happened like boom. So as you say, it starts the sacred and hierogamos is the marriage with God first, and then the divine union within us, loving the female aspect, the masculine aspect, the inner child within us, and that's the thing. As we move into divine union within ourselves, we're becoming more and more childish, more and more innocent, but also we holding the higher divine love, which means clear boundaries. But we are also, I mean, I'm so childish, like you wouldn't even imagine, and I get more and more childish, so I feel younger and younger, and
And this is the purity, this is the Lemurian frequencies, isn't it? But we have an opportunity now to go where we've never been before. The planet has never been here before. And it's just incredible that more and more of us are being activated to recognize that it's the purity, it's the joy, it's the childlike wonder, it's holding on to our creative imagination and the power of love to truly create something that's so incredible that the whole cosmos is going to be like, wow, look at this beautiful gem, look at this incredible, I was going to say experiment, but I don't know if that's the right word, but this beautiful, beautiful place that we have created. Yeah, it's just wonderful. Oh, I've loved this conversation. Mia, I could keep you all morning, but obviously I'm not going to do that because that would be very selfish of me. So what I'll do instead is I'll invite you back in the future. I would love, love, love to have you back
Yes.
on again. I know that you speak light language, and that's something that I did, as many children do intuitively when I was young. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was called light language. And of course, I used to go away on my own and do it, and I would sing and I would speak. And again, it's only been through the last couple of years that I've seen people like yourself going, like, oh my goodness, is that what it's called? It's called light language. And even when you communicate through light language, it's so familiar to me and it's so beautiful to me. And again, it's I would love for you to explain what light language is first and foremost. I'm just being asked to ask
Yeah.
you that because some people will not know what light language is. I know how I would describe it, but I would love for you to explain what it is. And then if you're, willing, it would be amazing to have a little sharing with you as well.
So some call it star language, some call it light language. What I see it more is like a multiversal language, which cannot really be explained in human words, which cannot be, you cannot explain it into English or anything else when people say, like, what did you just say? Because it's so intelligent, it's a vibration, it holds a frequency, it holds an intelligent, yeah, vibration frequency, which heals, clears, activates, awakens, and it's a straight connection to the soul. That's why I've heard so many say that, the first time I heard you, I started to cry. I didn't understand. I was not even awakened. So all of these things, because it's like like a soul language which goes beyond the mind, and the more we can allow the mind to relax, that's when this light language starts to come. And everyone has light language within them. Everyone has the codes within them. They just need to be activated. And they can be activated through listening to me on a live or through someone else, or you can go to someone that assists to activate them. But usually, as we heal, as we clear, we will remember. I really feel like sometimes me and my friends, we just leave messages in light language, and it's so much
Love
easier.
that. I
And
love
it's
that.
amazing, also when I make love with my beloved, to use light language, it's like a whole completely new, dimension is opening up, and you can connect through all time and space and all multidimensional levels of past lifetimes together. It's amazing. And then not to talk with children, with babies. I mean, it's so much fun. It's like suddenly you get their attention and they're like, and even with like animals, if you try to talk light language,
Yeah.
animals immediately just connect, and if you're on the ocean and you want to connect with the dolphins, I mean, start to talk light language, they always show up if there's a dolphin sea. Like, in Spain, they called me. I lived there for 2 years. It was like, there's a dolphin lady. And they're like, yes, she's in on the boat again. We're gonna see dolphins. And I went to the front and I was like, it went all of this, and they just came. And they're like, yes, it's like our lucky time. Every time you come, the dolphins come. I'm like, you need to learn light language.
Now, for some people that have never experienced light language before, like you say, it's just beyond any language that you've heard because it does bypass the mind. And some of your light language so resonates with me because some of it has clicks and things in it as well. Because I've just recently, I've had a wee go over the last couple of years, but recently, very recently, it's been coming back online for me. And I'm
Mm.
like, all right. And I was guided and told that some of it is Lemurian and it connects with the cetaceans. And so, in I've got a membership and I facilitate guided healing journeys. And so often the cosmic whales want to come in and the dolphins. I'm like, all right. So it's been such a beautiful experience for me to start to reawaken and remember that aspect of me. And I'm sure, I don't actually think any of my friends that are my 3D reality tune into Kelly's podcast, but if any of them do, they'll be thinking I have completely lost my mind. And I'm okay with that because that's the whole point. I want to quieten my mind and I want to allow all the beauty that's here to come through.
I mean, it comes to the religious template, right? Because there's a false religious template, and we've seen people talking in tongues, which has not always been pure. So
Yeah.
there's, of course, a fear in the collective of like, oh my God, this is dark. And there's fear, and of course, and I think it's always good. We should always be like, okay, what is this? But so we look like a crazy person, right? And I recently went out on TikTok, and my children are devastated. They're like, everyone is finding you, my girlfriends and my boyfriends, and you're like always there doing light language. And on TikTok, I'm having so much fun because you can just be there and bring your crystal, and you just dress up. This is like priestess of Andromeda, or yeah, I just love that space. It's just like, I don't know, you can just connect on a soul level, and I just do all these crazy things. I never talk usually, so they've never hardly heard me talk, and I just do light language, and yeah, they're not very happy about it. But I say like, wait, wait, wait. In a few years,
Absolutely.
so many will be talking light language. So
Absolutely. And then they'll be saying, Mum, you were ahead of the game.
yeah.
You were the TikTok queen. Oh, I would love for you, Mia, if there's anything that
Yes.
would wish to come through, that would be amazing.
Yes. Okay, so for all of you that are listening, let's take a couple of deep breaths into the heart. So really feel that we're dropping into the heart, and from maybe being in the mind and listening, and like really honoring also the mind and the mental energy body that's like really put things into structure and assist us in understanding and remembering. Now we're dropping from the mind into the heart and really feeling how we breathe in and out. We can inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth to really connect into the most beautiful parts and chambers of our heart. And if we really open up, we will actually be able to enter a very magical world in our heart. There's colors, and there's a very unique frequency and vibration, and there's a sense of being home, being able to trust and surrender, and it's that 0 point. So just connect to your heart vibration, your heart space, the most beautiful crystal chamber of your heart. Turana kia tarana korotoishi tanarna korotoia. And allow your heart to speak, and allow your soul to speak through your heart vibration. Uro no kitara na kishiatanaya. Allow the codes to assist your energetic field to shift. Kuro no tara na kitiara na kurosuya. Let go of the mind and just allow your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy body react to what is coming through. Kuro no tiatara na kiyata shitanara na ya. Kiatara na kurotusia tatanaya kiasana ya. Your natural state is to be in peace, to be at peace. Your natural state is to find your way back and to be anchored in peace. Kuruna tara na kurutusia tatanara na kurutuishia. Allow the codes of peace now to emanate from your third eye. Kurunuyati anara na kurutsuya naya. Relaxing your mind. Urutiata naya kiara suya. Maybe you see a rainbow codes, rainbow frequencies and rays coming out from your third eye in all directions. And now again, moving to your heart. Urushiatanayakishia. And now we can move underneath the soles of your feet into your Earth Star chakra and allow connection with your point into Mother Earth to be activated. Urunotitiataranakorosonoya. Emanating your unique vibration. Urunokitiataranasuyaya. From your Earth Star, from your heart and your third eye, you just allow the most beautiful, high vibrational rainbow ray frequency to emanate out to your entire auric field. Purunusatarana kiatarana. Yanarana kurutuya saya kianaya. Urusiatanaya. Just remember this is your natural state, and the more you visit this natural state of yours, the more familiar it will become. And breathe and come slowly back. Hmm. It's always hard to come back.
Always hard to come back. Oh my
Mm-mm.
goodness, that was so beautiful. And I should have really put a little caveat at the start of that to say anybody that's listening to this on the go, you might want to not completely tune in if you're driving.
Yeah.
Maybe come back to the light codes afterwards. But oh Mia, that was just so beautiful. So beautiful. Thank
Mm.
you so very much for sharing so generously of your time from your heart and for joining me in this beautiful conversation today. Have a beautiful day ahead, everyone, and I'm sending you so much love, Mia. Thank you.
Thank you for this beautiful space. Thank you, everyone. Blessings.
Bye for now. Bye for now.